Nah, you know what's stunning? Your smell.
I don't know, man. I kind of like it. Reminds me of your mom.
You know how nearly every major video game company wants their game to be cinematic? Well, Uncharted 4 is their wet dream come true. And whether you believe games should strive to be cinematic or pave the way for their own medium, Uncharted 4 is still really damn fun. Uncharted 4 sticks to the tried and true Indiana Jones formula of Nathan Drake, the most attractive man in video games, following clues with a tight-knit group to find a mythical treasure while competing against a significantly larger, more heavily armed group, also looking for that same treasure. This time he's looking for Henry Avery's pirate treasure to help out his long-lost brother Sam, who owes a drug lord about $200 million. You know, not that much. To top it all off, Sam also has one of the most basic white girl tattoos ever. To Naughty Dog's credit, you can tell they took what they learned from The Last of Us' character development and applied it to Uncharted. Drake actually has a more realistic character arc and internal conflicts this time around. He's actually content with his life and doesn't want to put it at risk looking for fucking pirate treasure, which is a pretty rational thing to want. But at the same time, there are subtle hints that he still enjoys the thrill of exploring ruins, piecing together mysteries, and potentially killing platoons worth of soldiers. Both major villains of the game are also the strongest in the series. Nadine is almost untouchable, and does a good job at making Drake look like the underdog, while Rafe is the most unlikable, hypocritical, douchebaggiest prick in the series, which is saying something, and it's also why the boss fight at the end of the game is absolute trash. Without spoiling anything, I will say the plot twist caught me completely off guard, which doesn't happen often. However, it left me a little disappointed, but looking back, I respect Naughty Dog's decision for playing it the way they did. Uncharted 4's dialogue is still top-notch, and taken even further thanks to the amazing voice acting. It's both realistic and clever, and would often make climbing the many long, boring, albeit gorgeous cliffsides pretty entertaining. Assuming you have a functioning set of eyes, the game looks fantastic. Each level is brimming with colors and life. Hell, you'll even see the occasional animal just doing animal things. There's so much detail that the game does feel realistic. Even some of the camera work for the cutscenes caught my attention. Look at this scene, and how it pans around the conversation to make the player feel included. They're small details, sure, but it goes to show the level of detail Naughty Dog put into Uncharted 4 to make it feel more cinematic. The gameplay consists of cover-based shooting, climbing, and solving puzzles. It's the usual Uncharted. Although there are some new additions, like the grappling hook. That's the greatest thing ever, even if it makes no sense. Seriously, this shit is made up of the magical elven rope from the Lord of the Rings. Just look at this. How does it come back like that? Magic, that's the answer. Performing stealth attacks has also been considerably improved, thanks to hiding in high brush and being able to escape out of sight after getting spotted. You can also tag enemies, which is a nice addition. However, the combat was my least favorite aspect of the game. It feels like it's superseded by everything else Uncharted 4 has to offer. Cover-based shooting, which is inherently slow and reserved, doesn't really mesh well with Uncharted's fast and adventurous tone. I keep thinking of how much better the game would be with a health system closer to the recent Far Cry's. You know, something in between regenerating health and health packs, just enough to encourage more ambitious tactics. Also, fuck this guy. No living creature should survive more than 3 grenades. Every time I see this gaping asshole, I know the next few minutes are gonna suck, because it's not enjoyable lining up a headshot while getting shredded by a minigun. Oh yeah, there's also some pretty good multiplayer. I know multiplayer really isn't my cup of tea, but Uncharted 4's is solid and might even be more enjoyable than the combat in the single player, due to its quick pace and vertical-ish maps. Granted, it's no Overwatch, but there aren't too many games nowadays that have a superb campaign coupled with great multiplayer. As I do with most games, I have a handful of nitpicks, so let's just get right into them. I got kinda sick of mashing triangle to open every other heavy door. It acts as more of an annoyance than immersion. I'm lazy. This is Uncharted. I'll take a cutscene. Thanks. I'll also say that the boat fight in the prologue was a bit contrived and felt unnecessary. It also feels like every other cliff/building/bridge are about as sturdy as an empty cardboard box in a hurricane, and adds drama only because everything is literally falling apart. and it happens a lot. With that said, Uncharted 4 is still a great game and a satisfying conclusion to this series. It still reigns king over cinematic, movie-like video games. If you own a PS4, you really should give it a shot. That being said, it still has some issues that prevent it from surpassing Uncharted 2, which is still the highlight of the series for me. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, gets a B+. Before I go, I feel like it's worth mentioning that I have a strong bias for Naughty Dog games. I practically grew up playing Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter, so you can only imagine the stupid grin on my stupid face when I played through the original Crash Bandicoot level only using the D-pad. Great stuff. I wasn't really sure where to put this disclaimer, so I just slapped it on the end, but this is very much a fan's perspective of the game. So take that with what you will. Later.
Buonasera. Ma che sta facendo?